What's up? What's up? Hey, yo, the levels are good. Logical nonsense. What's up? What's good, brother? Look at this. Hold up, hold up. Chilling. What we're gonna do here? I'm chilling, man. You know, keep it gaming. Own the greatest console in the world, that PlayStation 5. Now everything's good, man. Family's good. Work is hectic. Hopefully, the rest of the podcast members are able to join. I don't know if you see my tweet. I sent the tweet out asking for any Xbox-centric influencer to see if they want to hop on and defend their point of $70. You know, first party being $70 is bad, or something like that. I want to see, because we see it all on Twitter, right? I want this conversation live. I want to hear them behind the mic, and not in a room with like-minded, hive-minded Xbox dudes, where all they do is just sit there and agree, and they don't come up with no counterpoint, nothing. They all in 100% in agreement. But not here. I want to see if there's a legit Xbox dude ready to make that point. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna kick off 2021 hot. Forgive me for looking down, because I'm looking at my phone to see if anybody steps up. You know, it's all fun and games hiding behind no-name accounts on Twitter and being in a hive-minded podcast. But when it's time to get behind the mic, you know what I'm saying, and make your points against someone that could counter it, oh, that's when it all falls apart. That's when the nonsense really comes through. I really need to see who's willing to make this counterpoint. You know what I'm saying? I'll even bring up my points right now. You know what I'm saying? For those of you who don't know, for those of you who are a little bit behind, and anyway, I want to say shout out to the chat. This is your boy Porter Rock 77, your only friend in these YouTube streets. Back here live. The panel members got caught up on stuff.
I'm here for about 30 minutes.
Oh, snap. We got the Messiah. What's up, Craig? I thought you were doing you were gonna watch Soul or something?
Yeah, but her relief, they got a patient at shift change, so they're she's not gonna be home till like 9:30. So 9:40.
Oh, so we got a little bit to chop it up. We got a little bit.
Yeah, you can chop it up with it. No, ain't nothing but a thing. So yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we got a little something. All right. So what you been up to, brother?
It's been gaming and working. Man, got this girl moved in here now, so that's been my reality.
Okay.
watching Disney Plus.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? How you liking WandaVision?
I enjoy it. Yeah, I knew that I had been following that for a while and knew that Phase 4 of Marvel is going to focus more on magic and outer space with S.W.O.R.D. And so it's people's introduction to S.W.O.R.D., which is the space version of S.H.I.E.L.D. Everybody's used to S.H.I.E.L.D. Now you'll see S.W.O.R.D. and you'll see more Doctor Strange. You're seeing how powerful Wanda is. You're going to learn about Mephisto. And so it's for me, I'm just looking for those signs. Okay. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. And if you've watched it, first 3 episodes, the first one's in the 50s, the next one's in the 60s, this one they just did was in the 70s.
Oh, I saw the first 2 episodes. So the first 2 episodes, I was like, where are they going with this? It was the thing I did like was like the ending sequences. I'm like, all right, something's going on, you know. And then I saw like the commercial with the watch, but I had Hydra, the symbol right in the middle. So I'm like, all right, there's little tiny cues. You just have to be patient. But
Yeah, yeah, and those are sword. The symbols that they're wearing, they're sword agents. They're trying to break in because they think something terrible's happening to her.
Yeah,
and this is why she's doing this. But they're finding out. No, she's the one doing this.
Yeah.
So yeah. But I'm enjoying it. But everybody's like, "What are those symbols?" And even the person that came out of the sewer, he had a sword symbol on his back. So they're trying to figure out. But it also lets you know that when Thor came to Earth, the facility he was at was not a shield facility; it was a sword facility.
Okay,
that was a tale. And I'm thinking, because we like, well, wasn't that a sword facility? This is years ago when Thor came out, and it was like, yeah, he was at a sword facility when they finally called him.
Oh, okay,
because he came from outer space, so shield got nothing to do with outer space.
Okay. So hey, I know you ain't got long, so I want to ask you something real quick to stick with the topic. What you think about this whole $70 fiasco?
I don't think it's a fiasco. Look, I've said this before, and shout out to Sick Humor. He has said this. If you have an issue with $70, then you got other problems. You got to get your money up, and that's all there is to it. I understand if you want. Hey, it's like Lamar said in Grand Theft Auto: big dog, big nuts. Jim Ryan said they're still going to bring you major AAA content. You're just going to pay more for it. And based on inflation, games should cost about $86 anyway. So, but yeah, these guys just are whoever's complaining. They're looking for something to complain about. It's not a fiasco. It's there's a group of people that don't want to pay for anything. I don't want to pay for nothing either. But at the end of the day, this is about guys who ain't got no money in an expensive hobby. Want to pay for nothing, So there's a very expensive hobby, and they're selfish, and they don't want to pay for anything. And but it's not a fiasco. I don't get it. You go to Root Chris Steakhouse, you're not going to pay $5 for a steak. I don't know people who've been there, been to Jeff Ruby's Steakhouse. You got to pay the cost to be the boss. So they need something to say, well, this is why Game Pass is better. But we can clearly see that's the reason why Microsoft jacked up the prices and they had to pull them back, because Game Pass ain't making no money. And it won't until they get about 35 studios. And they have to put it on all platforms. That's the way Netflix made its money. Okay, it didn't matter if you went Puerto Rico, you could have went and bought the most horrible, cheapest TV. Netflix was available. Or if you bought the most expensive, Netflix was available. So it didn't matter if it was a Sony TV or a Samsung TV or one of those dog shit Insignia TVs. And that's what Microsoft has to do. And that's what they want to do. But it's just, look, you got two groups of people consuming the same media. They consume it differently. So that's all there is. Sony and Nintendo have a traditional model. Microsoft doing is trash, but that's my opinion. I don't have an Xbox technically. So.
Well, you have a PC.
That's my opinion.
You have a PC. From what I heard, PC is Xbox.
Yeah. Well, that's not true. All Microsoft does is make an OS that operates in that space. So does Apple. So does Linux. It's just something they're saying to try to stay relevant, and they're not relevant. We see it with Hitman that came back today. That is pathetic. That 70% of those sales are on PlayStation. Right. And that's just how trash that Xbox community is. Now, this is the same group of people who said this week, they said the resolution was important. A couple of weeks ago when Borderlands came out, I think it was Borderlands 3 or one of them, the resolution Immortals Phoenix Rising. The resolution wasn't important. It was the fact that it was 60 frames a second. So they don't know what to lie about anymore. I don't know what else to say about it anymore. They don't know what to lie about anymore. And the fact that your boy Z this afternoon doing a podcast talking about Minecraft shows you that there's nothing left to talk about. Because Minecraft, I can play that on my toilet. Okay, so it's just to a point there's nothing left to talk about.
Man, he let it all out. Hey, Optimus, what's going on, brother?
Mic check 1 2. How y'all doing, bro?
How's everything, brother? It's been a minute.
How you doing, Optimus?
Yeah,
Happy New Year, Optimus.
Oh shit, J-Dub jumped in and then he left.
Yeah, man, Craig upset. You might need to give him a few more minutes on the mic.
I know. I was like, he letting it all out.
I had a big life change here. There's a woman living here now, so yeah, I got to get used to all this to the estrogen. So.
Congrats, man! That's what we need to be talking about. Congratulations.
That's it. Nice.
Well, congratulations when we get these boxes out of here. They keep coming in here.
This dude,
and the closet, all this closet space I had is gone. Like I got this one little spot, and
that's all right. That's more than a fair trade. Don't even complain.
Yeah.
I guess not. I guess I'll listen to the men who've been in that position before. So yeah. So yeah.
What's up, chat, man? Everybody hit that like button. We're back, and it's just this topic, and I want to get Optimus Cole's opinion on this. And you've seen it a lot on Twitter. The $70 fiasco, where Sony charging $70 is a problem, but yet NBA 2K being $70 is not a problem. What do you think about this? Are you seeing more and more of what I've been trying to tell you about the Xbox community?
Rock, I hate coming on here because I always have to admit just how right you were and how wrong I was when I was trying to help educate the Xbox community, and I kept defending all of their actions, and you kept trying to tell me. I hate coming on here because I know it's going to come up every time. But yes, I see even more, like the more I interact, the more I see exactly why you do the things you do. And I'm not going to lie, it all makes perfect sense. Like, I get it.
Like right now, I sent the invite. Well, I sent like an invitation, a public invitation for any Xbox influencer who's willing to come on and speak on this $70 first party stuff. I mean, let me put it this way: it blows my mind, right? That the community that and maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm hearing things, but I could have sworn they're all talking about that they're buying Xbox Series X because they want the best version of multiplats. I could have sworn I heard that. Or am I making that up? Is that something I made up? Maybe I heard wrong. Right?
No, you're not making that up.
Yeah, very few say I'm buying an Xbox because of Microsoft's first party. You don't hear that shit. You hear because of the power and because they want the best multiplats, because they constantly say most gamers play multiplats. I mostly play multiplats, therefore I'm going to get the console that plays the best multiplats. Exclusives is not enough, right? So if you're buying a console for the best version of multiplats, and the multiplats are $70, then you're in no position to complain about $70. Because you're buying $70 games. You literally picked the console to play the best versions of $70 games. I don't understand the logic that these guys are trying to pull.
Facts.
And then they be like, go ahead, what?
Oh, there is none. Like Cole just put out a legitimate point, and I had to steal it from him. These guys talk about nothing but damn game pads or whatever these things, these joysticks, these game pads, whatever you want to call these things, game console pads. And they were paying $70, $80 for Xbox One, joystick, Xbox One Elite. They were paying $99, $129, and you're bitching about $70. And these are games. Okay, you're talking about an accessory, like a bitch. And why don't you talk about the games?
Damn. Whoa.
Open here. Whoa. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's
Yo, he really mad.
Man, he's letting it out.
It's crazy. So it's okay for them to buy Xbox Elite controllers for $99, for $129, or go design. I'm gonna go design my own controller. Oh, it only costs $139.99. But God forbid I gotta pay money for the game, which is what the console's for. That's what you're dealing with. Like I said, it's a child. It's a child at this point. So it's been beaten to death. Yeah.
Like, what I don't understand is, and they try to, and I don't think these guys get it, right? They be like, well, Microsoft charges, $60 for first party. And my reply is, what first party?
Right.
Like,
what first party?
Yeah, like, what part of, like, Microsoft ain't got games that you guys really don't understand? Like, you don't really have anything. And even Microsoft's not dumb enough, well, they almost dumb enough to be like, hey, we're going to raise our games to $70. What games? Like, if
hey,
what games? What games would they raise for $70? Like, what games?
Here's the funny thing. When they asked Aaron Greenberg about the $70 price hike, he did not say, no, we're not going to charge $70. He said, game pricing is a complex issue. And they're able to hide from it right now because they don't have any games, like you just said. And but he said the same thing that's true of Sony, right? Like, people keep saying that Sony games cost $70, which is not true. Sony games range from $49.99 to $69.99, and not every game is the same price, which is exactly what Aaron Greenberg said. He was like, well, we sold Ori for $39.99 and so on and so forth. Back in the olden days, all the games had one price, but now it's a lot more complex than that. And he never said, no, we're not charging $70 for games. He said it's a complex issue, and then he deferred till later. So I'm curious what all of these outraged Xbox fans that think there should be some united movement against Sony for $70 games. I'm curious what they're going to do. And will the same movement exist when $70 games come from Xbox if they ever release a game?
Yeah,
Call of Duty $70.
Microsoft will definitely going to raise their prices. It's going to happen. All right, it's simple.
Whole industry,
yeah, because the third party's already doing it, right? Sony's already doing it for some of their games, and they sell. You think Microsoft is just going to sit there and let everybody else eat, and they get nothing at the plate? Right? The only thing Microsoft is waiting for is to get their reputation back online. That's it. Because right now their reputation as a first party sucks ass. Like, these dudes, they come and be like, well, what non-third party game costs $70 on Xbox? I'm like, what non-third party game are you guys buying? Your top 20, your top 10 of the year, not one single first party game. Not one. Every single game on the list is third party. Y'all not buying your first party games. You're not, because there's nothing really to buy. Lionel bugging.
Yeah.
My man Lionel B, he said, hold on, let me do a super chat. My man Lionel B says, can we get Cole to talk about those DM confessions and Game Pass not doing so well? I saw that that DM you pushed out. And I'm not shocked at all. Because I'm not shocked at all that I seen that. I am not absolutely shocked that that's what they're doing. Because they're not beating these games, man. They're not beating these games. Yeah. And so I'm like, yeah, they're not. So I'm like, from what position of authority or of leverage are these guys at when you find out they don't even play the games they hype? Like, like, how can you say this console is a better gaming console than this console when, one, you barely play the console that you own, and then number two, you don't ever even touch the other console? So, like, how are you making this determination? I made the determination that PlayStation makes better games because I played the games and I beat them. And after I beat both games, I'm like, yeah, this game is better than that game. In fact, this game is trash after me playing it. That's how I make my determination, right? When I have a console that's collecting dust because the games are just not good, that kind of tells you the console sucks. Like, yo, shout out to Luca. Luca, do you want to hop on? Are you part of this $70? Shout out to Luca. She said hit the like button for the homie, fellas. I need somebody logical, not these no-name December 2021 accounts or January 2021 accounts that just popped out of nowhere. I don't want those dudes, because who knows what the fuck they'll do if they go on live. Like, they'll start playing, some type of, adult video, and then my channel gets blocked or something. Like, I need somebody credible, someone known, within the Xbox community to come up live, right? And give me the talk. Someone make sense of this, right? I need this. I need somebody. Somebody make sense of this. Right? Now I can understand if the argument was $70 across the board. I got it. You don't believe any game should be $70, which I disagree with that point too. I could argue that point too. Because you can't be going out there hyping VRS tier 2 now, from what I hear. Like, where the fuck that came from? RDNA. Yo, tier 2, what the fuck does that even mean? I don't even know what tier 1 did. Tier 2, what?
Yeah,
what the tier 1?
The tools for tier 1.
Like, yo, they're already talking about tier 2 VRS, VR, ray tracing at 60 frames, all this shit, but they still want the games to cost at the same price it did back in 2005. Like, that doesn't make sense to me. They want all this tech, all these advancements. They nitpick the hell out of anything other than native 4K. Like, if you're less than native 4K, you're trash, right? And
wait a minute. No, not if the frame rate, it can be below 4K. As long as the FPS is better than what's on PlayStation, then it's fine. It's fine. But don't let the frame rate be better on the PlayStation version and then their game be in 4K. That's literally what just happened this week. I was talking to people. It's like, wait a minute. You saying Hitman is better because it's native 4K, but it's got horrible frame rate drops. But on Borderlands, it had better FPS on the Xbox, but it looked better on the play. But that's okay. That's literally what they're saying at this point. So I'm just like, you know what? And then Porter, like you said, when you just put that statement out about 3 days ago about just ask these clowns for their gaming tags. What's your gamer score?
Yeah, that's it. I pull that up. I'd be like, yo, what's your gamer tag, bro? Like, before I talk to you, what is it?
What's your gamer tag?
And then they disappear.
Yeah, all of a sudden it's gone. What does that matter? Is what they start saying. So, and the fact again, I brought this up earlier, Code. The fact that 70% of Hitman games were sold on PlayStation, that's a joke. That literally does prove that they really don't buy their games. It is what it is. I don't argue with them anymore. Like I said, it's like a child.
Well, So first, let me be clear. I'm all with the whole movement that all the data that we have so far suggests that the Xbox community really doesn't play that many games, and the games they do play, they don't finish them. I get that. And I'm not opposed to that idea. But in this one case, with the Hitman 3 sales, that's only for the UK. And we know the Xbox ain't that big in the UK anyway. So, it stands to reason.
Bad. Yeah. I agree with what you're saying, but it's still sad.
I don't disagree. I'm just saying, even if every person with an Xbox in the UK bought Hitman 3, it's still not going to compare to PS4 and PS5 sales because it's just not that many over there. But that being said, there's a reason for that too. There's a reason that Xbox doesn't sell over there.
Yeah, I wonder why.
There's a reason why Xbox doesn't sell everywhere.
Luca, what's up?
Oh, my sister from another mister.
Can you guys hear me?
Of course.
Hola.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I don't know. I always have issues with Discord.
We hear your lovely singing voice.
Oh, thank you. Yes. Yes. What is up?
Chilling. How you been, girl? How's everything? How's your new year starting?
Oh, it's fine, I guess. How about you?
I guess fine, I guess. Nah, just working hard. That's about it. New York, this new year already, my God, I'm working really late. But it's all right. Luca, can you help me out here?
Sure.
Okay. Break down this $70 fiasco for me.
Oh, the Xbox guys just brought it up because they got a win, I guess, with Microsoft turning tail and changing their mind. So they just want to draw attention to the PlayStation side to, I guess, divert attention from the fact that Xbox was trying to screw us over. And then so they turned it into what about what PlayStation is doing, which it would make more sense for them to question EA or Activision because I feel like they're more egregious when it comes to screwing their consumers over, you know? As for the $70 games thing, I don't really understand why they raised the price to $70, considering, according to reports, gaming is more profitable than, the music and global box office. So it's like the fact that they raised the price, whenever I hear someone talking about inflation or how they haven't raised the price for games in like years, I'm just like, okay, I get that, but gaming is also more profitable than it's ever been. So they don't need to raise the prices when they're making a lot of money elsewhere. And also EA and Activision are the most egregious when it comes to microtransactions and especially Activision when it comes to Activision and Ubisoft when it comes to their all these different editions of the games that they have, right? There's no reason for them to be raising the prices for games. I feel like the rest of the industry is going to go this route too, and raise the games to $70. I haven't thrown a fuss about it because I have a hard time caring, to be honest. But if other games, actually wanted to throw a fuss and it was like a big movement or anything, then yeah, I would be behind it. I'm always going to stand with the consumer. But as it stands right now, since no one seems to really care, there's nothing I can really do about it. So
wait, do you think they should care, Luca?
Well, like I said before, there's no reason for them to have raised the prices by $10. They did not even give us a reason why they were doing it. So
let me ask you this. So you know how, and I'm pretty sure you heard it to ad nauseum, just as much as I have, but with all this talk of tech, introduction of ray tracing, now they're talking VR.
Wait, give me 1 second, man. Give me 1 second. I just disconnected. One sec.
All right. Ooh. Don't bail on me, Luca. I was about to bring the heat.
Okay, go ahead.
No. Okay, so with all the, because you heard the talk of technology, right, and how gaming is always advancing, right?
Okay.
VRS, VRR, blah blah blah, tier 2, mesh shaders.
I don't know what any of that stuff is.
Exactly, right? But it's all these advanced tech that's supposed to bring gamers more lifelike, 4K, better stability, 60 frames. Yada yada yada, lions, tigers, and bears, all mine, and stuff like that, right? So just like any other industry, right? Like any other industry, right? When any other industry brings in new technology, new capabilities, right? They usually raise the price, from what they used to sell a certain product, because now the new products got more than before, right? It's like, for example, the games, the $60 price range began in 2005, right? With the Xbox 360 and the PS3 games, right? And I remember the uproar over that, right? So now you fast forward 15 years later, because this gen started in 2020, right? The amount of technology in this games, right? That they're putting into this game, and all that to get the games where they are.
What games?
And like any game, ray tracing. Like before, like
you mean the broken games they've been releasing for people?
Well, I'm gonna say that's a symptom of you know how I'm gonna blame? I'm gonna blame you only digital gamers for that one. That's their fault.
Oh, okay.
I knew that shit was coming, right? The boy, girl, don't get me started on that shit. I knew that shit was coming the moment PS4 and Xbox One were talking about they're gonna sell day one digital games. I'm like, oh, these motherfuckers are gonna fuck us, right? Because if you primarily sell your games day one by disc, it has to work because it's off the disc. But now with this all digital shit, oh my god! Now you buy a disc, they tell you, oh, but you gotta get the day one patch. Then what's the goddamn point of the disc? Like, don't even get me started on that bullshit. I knew that shit was coming, right? That's a whole different stuff, right? But with all this investment with better technology, right? That you guys talk about, ray tracing, reflecting, see a pimple on a gnat's ass, better frame rates, the character's hair looks better than ever, right? You don't think that
I'm having a hard time knowing what games you're referring to. There's not a lot of games that are utilizing those features.
Oh no, not yet, right? But they put
not yet. No, we don't know if they're actually going to do anything with it because the gaming space has been very stagnant when it comes to their releases, especially when it comes to AAA markets. So,
well, yeah, but that's only because this generation just started.
Okay,
like a lot of the tools are new, but the point is they put
the tools.
All these, yeah, right, no shit, right, the tools. But all this stuff, they put money to get this stuff advanced. It doesn't come out of thin air. Somebody has to pay for all this tech to be created and be like, hey, invest in this technology so we could start making games like this. And the company's like, all right, fine.
The gamers are already investing.
No, not the games. The developers and the publishers.
No, I'm saying like they've already given these developers and publishers. We've already given them a lot of money. So I don't like I said, gaming is more profitable than the movie industry and the music industry. So I don't see why they have to raise the price by $10. It doesn't really make any sense to me. And then all those features you're talking about, they haven't utilized them yet, and I don't know if they're going to. I mean, I'll wait and see, and I hope that you're right. But as it stands right now, the games I see releasing are broken, buggy games with shaky textures and shaky visuals.
First-gen games is always a trash.
So, I mean, I'll wait and see, but as it stands right now, I have no reason to believe that, this is perfectly fine. Like, I just feel like the gaming industry is just greedy, which they are. Every
business has to be greedy.
But, I don't. You don't see me cheerleading or championing or anything like the price rage because they didn't even tell us why they were raising the prices.
Let me put it this way. So let me talk about it in the past because I could explain it better. So this same thing that everybody's going through, the $70 price, exactly happened in 2005 when they announced the games are going to be $60, right? Because the games used to be $50, right? And we had amazing games like Grand Theft Auto, San Andreas, and stuff like that, right? For $50, right? And they used to compare. I remember they compared Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater on the PlayStation 2 versus what game was it on Xbox 360? Well, they compare. I forgot what it was, but they compared like the character and the environment and the raindrops, and the one on PlayStation 2 was better. Like, it was graphically better. The raindrops, the puddles, how the character interacted. And a lot of people like, what the fuck are we paying $60 for? Like, this shit is trash. I remember the hashtag. I remember like the main, shit talking point in the forums was where's the next gen, TEH? Where's the next gen, right? They used to show like Ace Combat PS2 version versus like a flight game on 360. And it was like, where's the next gen, right? And everybody's complaining like, hey, where the fuck? Why are we paying $60? None of these games look like trash. Whatever, $50, right? But the industry still stuck with their guns with $60, right? To include Sony, Microsoft, everybody stuck with their $60, right? It stood that way, right? And the logic was because of the technology, unified shaders, all this weird shit, right? But when you look at the long run, right? When you look at the long run with the money they invested over time, we ended up with some incredible looking games, incredible graphically looking games, much better than what we ever did. Like the jump in graphics over time during this period was huge, amazing. And then we entered the HD era, right? Which was a huge leap for game graphics and stuff like that, right? So I see the same shit's happening all over again, right? They invested in these technologies, these tools, all these weird shit, right? But it costs money, right? And I'm going to tell you, and the sad part is the company's not going to lose money over investment. No, they're going to get their money up front and stuff like that. Sadly, right? Because another job is for the company to grow, to get bigger, right? Buy more studios, produce more titles. That's always the goal, right? To expand and get bigger and stuff, right? I just see this process happening all over again, right? We're asking for ray tracing. We're asking for, all these weird stuff. VRR, HDMI 2.1 compliancy, and all these huge advancements for the next 2 or 3 gens. And that's what the industry's giving us. But now we're complaining at the price for it. And that's just, the more that we want, it's not going to come free. I already learned that lesson. The more tech we want, more technology, it's just not going to come free.
This idea that everyone's asking for VRS or VR or whatever, like, the fact of the matter is, it's like, I guess it's the super hardcore guys asking for that. Because like I said, I'm guessing VRR, variable refresh rate, like that's what it is, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And all that stuff. First of all, once again, we're not even getting games that are optimized at release. We're getting broken games. We're getting broken textures. We're getting games that can barely hit 60 frames, games that are dropping below 60. So I don't see people asking for all that extra shit and all the bells and whistles other than the Xbox guys who are obsessed with technology for some reason. Technology they don't understand, but whatever. I see more people asking for games to run at a stable frame rate, and until we actually get to a point where games are running at 60 frames without any dips and a steady resolution as well. You know, we're getting 1800p 60 frames, 1800p dynamic with 60 frames dropping and all that extra shit. Like, those are the kinds of games we're getting. Yeah. So,
Luca, you saying they're gonna have to earn that $70?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they have to earn it. And then, like I said, it's less about Sony and it's more about EA and Activision. You know, like EA and Activision are top 5 greediest, most vile corporations when it comes to screwing their consumers over. So once again, considering how profitable Call of Duty and NBA 2K are, right?
Yes.
Why would they raise the price of the game that's already extremely successful? Are they doing anything like crazy different with Call of Duty? Yeah, I know with NBA they're doing stuff with like the hair textures, but
is it worth the extra $10? Like make the dude bald. Fuck it.
Like,
I mean, I don't know.
Make them bald if it saves us $10.
New Call of Duty. But the next gen 2K is definitely noticeably improved over the last gen version, no doubt.
Yeah, and a lot of it is that there was this narrative push that everything was going to be 4K native 60 frames a second, and a lot of people said no, that dynamic resolution wasn't going anywhere. You're going to have you're going to have 1800p 60 frames. You're going to get better FPS and better graphic textures. So you're seeing a lot of games that are comparable with high and ultra graphics if they were on PC. And so it just comes down to, what do you want? Do you want 60 frames locked at, say, 1440p or 1800p with high or ultra graphic settings or texture packs, or do you want everything 4K native, but you may be at 30 FPS, but then they may be able to put ray tracing on. So it just, again, this is the beginning of the generation, but I understand what you're saying.
I see more people asking for that stuff, and then all that extra stuff just sounds like, okay, well, like I said, I have a lot of people on Twitter muted, and I don't listen to a lot of shows, so I haven't seen anyone talking or asking for that extra stuff. I'm going to assume it's the Xbox guys, because they love the tech talk, which, once again, I personally don't get it. It's not interesting to me. I'll never be interested in console tech. It's just whatever, right? But it's like, as it stands right now, they did not give us a reason why they were raising the prices, and this new technology that quote unquote we are asking for, I don't know who this we is, because it's not me, Porter Rock. I'm not asking for any of that stuff. I'm asking for a stable frame rate. That's all I want. Have I been getting that? Kind of. So, and so far the only game that I can see where I'm like, this is like, wow, this is next gen, this is phenomenal, this is amazing, is Demon Souls. Everything else looks fine. And I get it's at the beginning of the generation, but I have absolutely no faith in the gaming space for them to do anything better, because at this point, all they care about is money and getting as much money as possible and shelling out whatever bullshit garbage game that they can. Every developer that I once had faith in has screwed me over. All right?
Oh, you must be talking about Cyberpunk.
You're talking about CD Projekt Red, because you be like The Witcher 3 times or some shit, right?
No, yes, CDPR, Bethesda, BioWare, all of them have just fucking screwed me over. So now I don't have any faith or hope or interest in anything coming out, because all they have given me is disappointment. So, good luck, I guess. I mean, whatever, dude. Like, I'm over here.
Hey, Luca, you not back on your Destiny kick? Because I heard Destiny was running real good on the Series X.
Yeah, no, it looks absolutely phenomenal. It plays really, really well. It runs really, really well. Unfortunately, Bungie has implemented two things to the point, and it's at a point where a lot of hardcore Destiny guys are taking a step back. Unfortunately,
what did they do?
Sunsetting. Do you know sunsetting?
No,
I think they did it in the original Destiny as well, where it's
they started retiring some of the loot.
Yeah, but it's not even some of the loot. It's like 80% of the loot they've retired, right?
Whoa!
And then they retired it, and then they reissued loot that we got from Forsaken. So it's like, what, 2-3 years ago? Some loot from there, right? And then the moon loot, which was, what, 2019? So they are retiring loot that we just got and then reissuing it with new random roles, but it's just kind of like, I'm not excited to go after stuff I already have. Also, do you remember the Pinnacle gear? You know, the Pinnacle and Ritual gear where you had to go into... Yeah, you can... There's a kiosk where you can buy all those weapons now. But there's no point in buying them because they're pointless in every activity that's power-based. And then also there's... they introduced a dark subclass called Stasis. And basically you can freeze people in Crucible. And I mean, you can just guess how that's going. You can guess how that's going. So I'm like, no, I'm good. I don't need to play this game right now. So.
Oh man. Wait, what are the rules around that freezing and Crucible? Because I can see that leading to all kind of headaches.
Yeah. See, when they introduced the subclasses, they introduced them broken. Like the Hunter doesn't have a cooldown when it comes to this one attack that can continuously kill people.
Say no more.
The Warlocks were extremely broken at the beginning. They kind of retuned them, but barely. Apparently, they retuned the Hunter's Revenant crash, but you know, Fallout did a video on that, so that's barely. And then the Titan news super lasts literally for decades. It feels it just doesn't run out. And
I need to go back. I need to go back. I need to go back now.
Yes.
Bring back Team Titan.
The light-based subclasses are too weak to deal with the stasis. I mean, I personally, I don't really care all that much for stasis myself. I don't have any interest in getting a kill by freezing someone. That's bitch shit, but whatever, right? So I just I took a step back. It's really the sunsetting that's having a huge hit for people. Like, there's no incentive to go out and get loot that's going to be useless.
And something that you already did. That's just it's just become monotonous.
But it's in a great place for new people. So. Oh
yeah, but you think that's what they're focusing on, trying to get new people?
Yes.
Because like the old people, you're not gonna spend money no more because you're old school. You've been there, done that. But if you get the new people, you can sucker them for that. What is it, silver? I forgot what that shit called.
Yeah, right? Silver. Yeah. No. I definitely they're more focused on the new people. There's more casuals than hardcore anyway, so that makes the most. I mean, it makes sense.
In Destiny.
Yeah, there's more casuals. Yes, for sure. It may seem like there's more hardcore because all the hardcore creators are extremely popular, but there's definitely more casuals because Bungie, they tried to appeal to the hardcore, and that ended up being a huge mistake because it was like it's a really, really small subset of people. So outspoken with a lot of influence, but still very small in comparison to the casual base. So
yeah. The casual base in almost every game is what brings in the money.
Yes. So I don't fault them and I don't blame them. I'm just kind of like, I kind of just realized like, damn, they really. This is like this is like a bad idea. Like I as soon as they were like, oh, freezing subclass, also sunsetting, and for sunsetting, I was like, oh, I'll give them a shot. But then. I was like, there's just no way they're going to get rid of 80% of our loot and not bring in something to supplement it, right?
Something new and different, at least, right?
But that was unfortunately not the case. And then when I saw the kiosk and I was looking at weapons, I spent hours in the Crucible and hours in Strikes and Gambit grinding for, just being sold for Ascendant charge. I lost a piece of myself, I was just like, what's the point? Like, what is the point?
That was like the Galahorn.
Yeah. You can buy exotics too. You can buy exotics too.
I remember when I finally got the Galahorn, like 3 days later, they put it on sale. I was like, you know what, Bungie? Fuck you.
Yeah,
I was so goddamn mad. 3 days, like, difference, and that shit took me weeks to get. Like, you couldn't do after a while, you wouldn't even be allowed to do one of the whatchamacallit, which one is that? Oh my god, it's been so long. Like in order to get invited to do a raid, you needed a Gallahorn. If you didn't have a Gallahorn, they booted you. That was like the first question they asked. All right, who doesn't have a Gallahorn?
Oh, yeah, raids?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
do you have a Gallahorn?
No,
we're get out of here. Yeah.
You've been booted. I was like, what? I was like, God damn it.
Yeah, no, it's unfortunate, but they're, I talked to my boys about it, my crew who I play with, and I just told them, like, I'll be back. In like I don't know, I'll be back later. I'll just buy whatever I missed out on.
So shit, yeah, that's true, right? Yeah. You'll catch up and be at their level after, So hey, let's move on to a different topic, right? Who's seen the vid?
Wait, before we do,
okay.
I just got one question. So Luca, is Destiny worth $70?
Destiny is a free to play game.
Yeah, but is it worth $70?
Is it worth $70?
Let's say if they didn't make it free to play and they charge $70.
Is it worth $70?
The way she sounded the last 10 minutes, she's really conflicted.
You're like, is it?
Because it's like a balance, right? You got to look back at the 500 hours that you enjoyed, and then the last 20 hours that you actually hate. It's like a balance. It's like a love-hate thing.
I mean,
well, think about it. Let's go back in time from the very first day you played Destiny 2. Would you pay $70 on that day? Brand new.
Did I?
Would you pay $70?
No. Would I pay? No, absolutely not. Destiny was in a bad spot when Destiny 2 launched. That's why they had to revamp everything for Forsaken.
Okay.
So.
But I'm saying, let's say
I've spent a lot of money. I've given Bungie a lot of my money though. Okay. So, like I've given them a lot of my money, and like I'm thinking about all the last couple of expansions. Like the last one came out, I think that one was 50. I'm pretty sure, and then the one before that was 40. The one before that was 40. Yeah. Destiny, like I said, the base game is free to play, but then there's also they come out with a new season every 3 months. That's like $10.
So you spent way more than $70.
Yeah, I've given Bungie a lot of my money. Yeah,
I jumped in on Destiny with Taken King, but I got it was like that PlayStation special edition PlayStation, the white one with the Taken King graphics on it. So I got the game, quote unquote, for free, the expansion for free, and then that's when I jumped in on Destiny. And I had a blast until I got to end game, and then I just didn't like the idea that you could only have 2 pieces of loot that was actually in-game loot.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, Destiny's in a great place if you've been away for a while or you're a new player. It's awesome.
Because it's new. Everything is new to them.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff to do if you're a new player. But, for veterans, it's just kind of like, okay, this is cool, but it's mostly just me thinking about all the hours I've wasted playing Destiny, like literally a waste of my time.
You could have just waited and buy everything.
I could have just waited. Like if I had known, if I could go back in time and just tell myself, bitch, listen, they're gonna sell everything.
just wait. Just play other games.
Play something out. Especially like there's this weapon called the Mountaintop, and when I say it was the most triggery experience for me. My KD dropped into the fucking mud. I went from like, I was like at gold 3. I went to gold 3 to fucking bronze 2. I was fucking sick about it, dude. Because I was trying to get that goddamn mountaintop. I had to play in a way that I hated. I got the mountaintop, and then they were like, 3 weeks later, we're going to nerf the mountaintop. And then like a month later, by the way, the mountaintop is for sell. And I was just kind of like, God, if I could just, I already have the noose around my neck, man. I'm out of here.
So that's it. Just jump off. You know what?
Yeah, that's way more disrespectful than raising the game price by $10.
Man, she lost her rankings.
Super triggering. So I was just kind of like, all right, let me just, and there's so many other good games. Like, I've been playing Sekiro. I'm about to beat it for the 4th time. Yeah, you enjoyed it?
That game is great. Do you think that's the hardest Souls type game out there?
I think it's more involved in regards to actually learning the patterns of the bosses. Mm-hmm. Like with the other Souls games, you can just dodge out of the way at the right time and iframe it, or get behind the bosses and just like be mindful of that kind of thing. Yeah. But with Sekiro, you have to like really really time things properly.
Yeah, it's a lot of precision.
They will whoop your ass if you don't time this shit right. Like you will.
I mean, I think Neo was like that. Neo requires a lot of precision.
Yeah. So yeah, with Souls games, like I feel like I could brute force it. But with Sekiro, especially your first playthrough or your first couple of playthroughs, it's kind of like, oh my goodness. But, you know, I've seen like a steady progression in my abilities while playing the game. And once you get the patterns down, it's kind of like, this is cake, dude. This is so fucking easy. But I guess you could say that for any Souls game. Now, I would say I had a harder time with Demon Souls than I did with Sekiro. Sekiro's been the least frustrating experience out of all my Souls games. So
yeah, but we all know because it's the old school Demon Souls.
Yeah, no, it's
there's no
how you liking them? How you liking them locked 60 frames with Sekiro?
Oh, it's really nice. I don't know if it's locked though. I think drop a little bit according to Digital Foundry, but it's been really nice. It loads fast too, so I'm happy I waited. Plus, it has extra content for me, so I'm glad I didn't play it day one. I wish I had gotten it on PlayStation because I'm close to getting the 1,000, and I do prefer trophies over core. So, but it was a gift, so beggars can't be choosers, of course. You know,
hell yeah,
yeah. But it's been a really great experience. About to beat my 4th playthrough. And it's been great, man. I've been trying to get more people to go back to it. A lot of people quit on like Genichiro or Lady Butterfly. So, and Genichiro is so easy, and so is Lady Butterfly. They're both super easy. So now they are.
So, all right, we're good with this topic.
Yep.
All right. Yep. Hey, anybody seen the Medium video? Have y'all seen?
No, I meant to watch that at lunch today and forgot all about it.
Luca, have you seen it?
Yeah, I saw it. Very cool concept. The character model and the actual gameplay looks super shaky. The way the character moves looks really shaky, in my opinion. But I think the story concept could end up being really cool. But it's just the way the character model looks and the way that they move is jarring. It seems very janky, I guess you could say.
So people keep forgetting. You played the Blair Witch? It's Blooper Team, right? That's the name of this?
No, I didn't play that.
Yeah, I didn't play that. I played it, right? Oddly enough, when it was exclusive to Xbox, everybody was talking about it. So I said, "Fuck it, let me try it." I like the movie, right? I like the documentary, whatever. When I played it, I'm like, "Oh boy." Like, this is not something to brag about right now. And I you know what's funny? I asked other people that bragged about it. I'm like, hey, you play Blair Witch? They're like, nah, I didn't play it. I'm like, you motherfucker. like you guys bragged about this shit, and I'm the one end up playing it, and I'm like, holy shit, this game is bad. Like, it's really bad, right? So now when I saw this Medium, and I saw the people making it, I'm like, wait a minute. Isn't this the people that make the Blair Witch? I'm like, ooh. I don't think people know what they're hyping if they never played the Blair Witch. I don't think these guys. I mean, I hope you can always any studio could make a standout game, right? You could on that day the broken clock was right. When you looked at it, and yep, it was 2:00. Yep, that's the time, right? And maybe I wish them the best. I wish all these new developed studios the best. I know I talk shit about Xbox, but I hope like more and more developers wish them success, right? Like House Marquee, I like the fact that they moved on from like indie and they are making a bigger budget game. They're getting a shot at a bigger budget title. So I hope all these studios could grow, right? But that Medium footage, I'm like, whoa. I'm like, oh boy. I'm like, we're about to see this 69 rated template. I'm like, man.
Man, for real. I didn't look at it. So they made a game called System Observer, System Redux, which I really had fun with for about the first 3 hours. Then they started doing a bunch of dumb stuff. Like they was trying to force like horror. They was doing like a bunch of weird stuff to try to make you be scary and taking control from the gamer and seeing all these weird visions and stuff. It was just so dumb. And by the time I reached the end of the game, I finished it and I got the platinum for it just to be thorough. But I was really turned off with Blooper Team after playing Observer. And my hype level for the Medium sort of dropped because of it, but I'm still kind of hyped, but I haven't watched the video yet.
But it's running at a lock 30. But because
I don't care about that, man. I just want the game to be good.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, but it's running in two different parallel universes. So I was told by the community that makes it a 60 FPS game. That's what I was told.
I mean, it's a cool concept. It's a cool concept. The community.
Oh, that's what I was told.
The community.
Oh, that's what I was told.
That's his thing, man. The community. Yo, Craig, man.
That's what I was told. I mean, you know, I'm not making that up. I mean,
Craig
Bro, stop.
Craig is
Stop, dude.
Craig is. We're about to talk about King Kong and Godzilla because this is how bad that. I'm like, oh man, I hope that game the best. Woo! Woo! It's gonna be more than Game Pass. But we'll see.
I make sure.
I like the concept, like Luca said. The concept's interesting. Yeah. So it's a refreshing idea.
Yeah, if it doesn't have puzzles in it, I'll stream it. So
yeah, no, I just listen. I really I commend them for trying something different. Yeah. But I can't help but think like. Maybe if they didn't have like these two worlds running at the same time, the game, I feel like maybe I'd be more interested if I could just be in that other world, you know, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would have to play it for myself, but I don't know. I'm not sure how I'm vibing with the split screen right now, but the concept, the voice acting is good. The concept seems very interesting. I like dark stuff like that.
Yeah. Whoa. So it's split screen. You don't get to go in and out of each world when you want to. It's split screen.
No, it's split screen.
Yeah, it's split screen. I like the fact that you like dark stuff. I like the fact you like dark stuff, though. That's encouraging.
Yes, I do.
Well, of course, that's her shit right there. I don't know. So we'll see. You know, and then that's like. Hello?
If a game has if it has a good story, I can vibe with it. Even if the gameplay is like lackluster, like Life is Strange doesn't have any gameplay really, but I really love Life is Strange. You know, I'm a huge fan of that franchise to a point. And you know, or if the game has really good gameplay like Destiny, but the story's been like kind of meh for a bit, then you know, I can vibe with it. Either gameplay or story, as long as it has one really good aspect, I'm fine with it. This might be a game where it has a really interesting story, but the gameplay, like I said, it looks really janky to me. So
no, hopefully at least, well, hopefully the story could carry the game at least, like you said, because I also like like the Telltale games. I also like Life is Strange. I had to start up Life is Strange 2, so I do like those games. Like you said, the gameplay is barely minimum, but they do a real good job of fleshing out the story. So at least that, because it does seem interesting, the medium game. But I'm sorry, but Xbox can't take another L. Like you can't start out 2021 taking an L. Like I'm not trying to be an asshole here, right? But Luca, am I right? Like you take another. Am I wrong here, Luca? Like is Microsoft in a position to start off the year taking L's? Like I think they ran out of credit. Like you can't take no more L's. Like. You can't take any more punches to the face. You gotta stop taking punches to the face. Like you gotta
listen, man. I'm gonna real with you, okay? I really think that them raising that price $60 was the biggest mistake that they could have made, and they still did it. So I don't really know what the top brass at Microsoft or Xbox is thinking right now. When it comes to taking L's, they seem like they're just attracting them. You know, it's just like, please give me an L. I want it. You know, 3 L's, man. You know, so if the medium ends up being mid, you know, I really feel like them raising that price by $60 is, even though they reversed it like seconds later, basically.
Yeah.
That's, you know, I feel like it's a bigger hit than the medium being a bad game or whatever. You know what I mean?
Hey, somebody in the chat said they already calling it the medium.
The medium. Oh man!
I've seen that watch.
Y'all are terrible.
This crunch size is ruthless.
Hey, but I tell you what, the flight sim game is good. The flight sim game Microsoft has is good. Now the F-15 on there, trash. That is sloppy. But the game so far is really good. I give Microsoft credit.
Nice. Yeah, there's I've said this multiple times. There's really unless you're already invested in the Xbox ecosystem, and you're a fan of Xbox, there's no reason to buy a Series X or a Series S. I've been saying that since before the system came out. So, and honestly speaking, you know, I'm not going to like make a big deal about it on Twitter or anything like that. But them like doing that, let me raise the price by $60. Even like I said, even though they reversed it, that left a really bad taste in my mouth.
That's
and I'm like,
double the price. Like,
yeah,
I could understand like a $70, like, you know, a 12% increase, right? It's kind of right. You know, I'm like, because okay, they're probably boosting up the network, they're gonna expand, you know, more global or something, right? That's usually normal or something. But they literally
give you more games
something,
like
right? But they just did 100% increase, and instantly I thought all of 2020 the games will go for was trash because they put all the best titles over to Game Pass. So why would make you double the price of this service when you purposely gimped the games for gold? Like, that is bananas.
Doesn't make any sense to me. And like I said, you know, I did a video on it, and I was like, yeah, I want to say thanks Microsoft, but I can't, because you, like, anyone with half a brain could realize this is a bad idea. Like, I just don't know what they could have been thinking. Anyone who's all like, thank you Xbox, thanks Microsoft's the best or anything, it's like, no.
For really doing something they should have done, because I think even we discussed this a long time ago. Microsoft should have been done remove free-to-play games from their paywall. Like, years we've been talking about this. Years we've been saying this. This is not a new thing. We've been saying this for years. Like, when Sony announced...
100%.
We've been saying this for years, so this is not like a good job finally. Like, we're in 2021, and now they finally removed it out of the paywall, right? And that's only because I don't think that was part of the plan. I think that was like a last minute, man, we really screwed up. We need a win somehow. Hey, let's remove free-to-play, right?
I definitely...
That was not part of the plan.
It was a gesture of goodwill, especially since the Call of Duty Twitter account, the Apex Legend Twitter account, all the free-to-play games, they were just kind of like, by the way, you still have to pay.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. They were blasting them tweets.
To play our free-to-play games, just want to throw that out there.
Yeah, you want to throw out there that, I'm getting close 120 on Xbox. Just pushing it out there, right? Because I'm pretty sure the developers are not happy that Microsoft did that. Now, they probably tolerated it at 60. They're like, all right, we're going to tolerate it. But now 120, they're like, wait a minute. Like, you're kind of going against what we intended to do with these games, which is be accessible to everybody, which is why it's free to play. And
hey, Rock, Luca, real quick, I want to clarify, just in case people aren't paying attention, they haven't removed that paywall for the free to play games. They announced their intention to remove it in the coming months.
Wait a minute, it's not free to play now?
No, it's exactly like it was.
Wait a minute.
They're going to remove it in the coming months.
Wait, hold up.
So we'll see if people hold them accountable for that.
Hold up. You mean it's not free to play yet? Like, they made an announcement of what they're gonna do one day.
They made an announcement of their intention to remove it. Yes.
You can't make this up. Like, somebody in Microsoft hates Xbox. There's somebody, Phil, if you're listening to me right now, there's somebody there that's actually hates Xbox, and their sole purpose is to get rid of your division. It has to be. There has to be. This doesn't make sense. There has to be someone that really doesn't like Xbox. Someone's a traitor among their ranks. They got an Among Us. They're literally playing Among Us live in the gaming industry. Like, what are they waiting for? What they're gonna wait for? E3?
I don't know.
The industry scuttlebutt says it was always their plan to do it right before Halo Infinite drops. Because they definitely want Halo Infinite to be free to play and you don't need a subscription or anything. So they wanted to time it with that. Then Halo Infinite got pushed back, obviously.
Yeah.
And so the current scuttlebutt is they really want to time it with the Halo Infinite release, but they may not be able to because they have everything they need to do it now because they were planning to do it this past Christmas. So now it's just a matter of whenever they decide, and that's why they were very clear in the coming months. They were very non-committal about when it would happen.
Just do it.
Well, that's good to know.
But I'm thinking, just do it. Like, what's just announce it today. Hey, as of today, free-to-play games are no longer behind Xbox Live Gold. That's the tweet. Have a nice day.
Well, the thing of it is, I heard Colt say that on AGS yesterday, and it was a surprise to me, and it's clearly a surprise to you. I don't think people know or
I thought
to check,
they did it.
Oh, yeah, I thought they did it too. So.
Like,
no, it's in the announcement. It's like, over the coming months, we will have it removed. We'll keep you updated. Blah blah blah.
Oh my God! Like, I don't know. I just don't know. And here's it. I'm not a businessman by any means, right? And I don't run a multi-billion-dollar corporation. I'm not gonna pretend I do. But I do see why other consoles and why other products made them successful, and I've seen the ones that failed just by observing. I seen the decisions, some console makers made that didn't turn out too well, and I seen the ones that made great decisions and it ended up great. And that's all I'm basing all this stuff. Like, make the decisions that you've seen other console makers do that made them successful, right? Like, if people are like saying, "Hey, we're the only device in the entire world that's locking down free to play," well, maybe we shouldn't be doing that. Like, right now, we should just stop that right now because nobody else is doing that. And since we don't have games, the upcoming library is going to take a while. We might as well throw a bone for these people, right? Especially when you got a new product that's brand new on the street, right? The honeymoon's going to die over in a couple of months, right? And what I mean by the honeymoon is, for both consoles, the lustrous fact that, they're brand new tech, that's going to die off. There's going to be a point where people are now just going to look at the console at face value on the merit of the games, right? And when you hit that point, is Microsoft and Sony ready to propel themselves, to get these people to buy their consoles, right? Because the honeymoon's not going to last forever. I think the honeymoon lasted a little bit longer than normal because of COVID, and it's really hard to get consoles, right? So you're still in that phase, so that phase is lasted a little bit longer. But normally, people would just be buying consoles whenever they feel like by now. Like in January, February, consoles would be, in the stores everywhere. It would not be this difficult to get a console. But soon this honeymoon and this hype of, man, I still can't get a console, is going to die off. And it's going to be about just simply, what is this console offering, right? And Microsoft better be ready with this shit. Like, they could make this shit really irrelevant real quickly if they don't make the right moves and stuff like that, right? Of course, we're hoping that the first party is going to do great. Like, Bethesda's a great find and stuff like that. We'll hope Ninja Theory. Like, I really like Ninja Theory. So, hopefully, with the bigger budget and backing of a proper publisher and them not worrying about that they're one title away from going bankrupt, they no longer have that fear. Hopefully, they push out big titles and stuff like that. But Microsoft can do simple things to like if you're bleeding, do things to slow down the bleeding, right? Until you get, the ambulance arrive, get some bandage, put it over the wound, keep pressure, do things like that. These dudes are sticking their fingers and picking the wounds. Like, yo, what's this little green thing? Like, what are you doing? Like, bro, get some Band-Aid, alcohol, keep pressure on it. Like, hold out until the, cavalry comes. Like, don't do anything stupid. And Microsoft's figuring out new ways to look dumber by the minute. Like, sometimes, just be honest, Microsoft doesn't even have to do anything at this point. Just wait it out. Like, don't make no speeches. Yeah. Just wait it out. Yeah. It worked for Sony, right? Remember, like in the beginning of the year, why is Sony quiet? Why is Sony quiet? Oh my God, they had no confidence. You remember that, Luca? Sony had no confidence. Like, Sony was just quiet. They just tried to not say very little dumb things that may not pan out. They just kept their mouth shut, and when it was time to show something, they showed it. When it's not time, they just kept quiet. They just took the heat. Microsoft needs to learn that. Just take the heat and just be quiet until you're ready to blow up and show the stuff you gotta do. Stop making weird moves, man. Stop. Just stop making weird moves. Find that Among Us dude and fire him before he makes things worse. Like, just chill.
Who you think it is, Rocky? Is it Phil?
I don't know who it is. So somebody's just doing weird shit in Microsoft, and for me personally, I'm not buying an Xbox console. I'm just not. I don't have faith in that brand. I completely lost faith in the brand. It's just not me, right? Thankfully, right, by going PC, I don't miss out. Because normally when you make a decision like that, like when I made the decision not to get the Wii or the Wii U, I missed out on certain games. But that's the price you pay if there's a certain product you don't want. The penalty is you miss out on games, right? There's certain games on the Wii, on the Wii U I didn't get to play, right? By making that choice, right? Thankfully, some of those games have been remastered for the Switch. So, once I get the Switch, I'll be able to play them again. So, let's recover. But normally when you choose not to buy a console, it comes at a price. And that price is games. There are some games you will not get to play. And it's just it, if you don't get that product. Thankfully, that's not the case. Microsoft made the decision to expand their ecosystem, to expand their reach, because they have different goals. So I no longer have to worry about that tax or that cost of making the decision. That decision doesn't apply to me, right?
Because your PC, you saying?
Yeah, because of PC, because Microsoft made the decision to put their games on PC. I'm not doing this whole console war thing. I'm just saying it's refreshing that I can make a decision not getting a console, and for the first time, I don't have to pay that tax. Oh man, I'm gonna miss out on these games though by not getting this console.
Okay.
It's crazy. All right. But you know what? Enough of this depressing topic. I want to ask you guys a serious question, right? I'm gonna ask Luca first. This is a serious question, right? This is some. You better think this question through. Are you ready? Luca, you ready? Is she there?
Yeah.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Are you?
Sorry, go ahead. I told you.
Okay, ready for this
fucking
question?
Discord, dude.
All right.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Are you Team Godzilla or Team King Kong? You better pick right, girl. You better pick right.
Okay, so here's the thing. I'm pretty sure they're gonna end up teaming up at the end because
No.
So Luca, hold on. Let me jump in real quick.
No. We're gonna pick sides. We're picking the sides right now.
Apparently, the director is on the record saying there will be a clear winner.
So there you go.
I don't know how
pick a
true
side,
that
Luca.
is, but that's what I heard.
Godzilla or Team King Kong?
what's a king to a god?
Oh hell!
What's a god to a non-believer?
Oh, hell nah.
What's a god to
so
a non-believer?
Listen,
okay?
you're doing all these riddles. Pick a side.
I'm not picking a side.
No, you're
man.
gonna pick a
I'm
side.
Not picking a side.
Godzilla.
Nah, man, I'm not.
That's
picking
it. It's the War of the Monsters. You gotta pick a side. There's no friends in this one.
Nah, fam. I need to know the reasons why they're doing what they're doing first.
It doesn't matter, right?
It does matter.
These are just two monsters. That's like there can only be one. That's it. That's the reason. That's the tweet. It's just simply because only one can survive. That's it. There ain't no logic. You think they're Republicans and Democrats? Then they're not voting for healthcare. They see one another. They're like, you know what? You gotta die.
Oh, wow.
I don't know why, but you gots to die. I see you, and you're gonna die. That's it. That's the only reason. So who you got?
I see. Interesting.
Who you got?
Who do I have?
Yeah, Godzilla or King Kong? Who you going for?
No, I mean honestly, I haven't thought about it. All
right. We're gonna delay this conversation. We're gonna save it for you.
Okay.
You got a week to think about it, and then I'm gonna ask that question on Saturday on your podcast. You get to say it to your
sounds
members.
good.
All right, so you got a wink. Do your research, and I'm gonna give you a week to answer. All right. So
okay.
So Optimus.
Yes, sir.
Team Godzilla or Team King Kong?
Man, I got love for Kong, but I'm gonna have to ride with Godzilla.
Oh hell nah. King Kong's gonna make shoes out that dude. He's gonna be rocking belts, wallets, gator shoes. Is Craig in here?
King Kong ain't even really got no powers. He just big and strong, and like he kind of smart.
Listen, let me tell you something. All right. Let me ask, where's Craig? Is Craig in here or he went to sleep? Oh no, Craig's not here no more. Okay, let me tell you something.
No, Craig had to bounce a little.
King Kong, these people are underplaying, right? King Kong is actually the smartest out of all the monsters. If you notice, he's the only one that can rationally, intelligently understand like weakness, sensitivity. He understands, like he's the only one that actually friends with humans because he has the emotional intelligence to understand that. Godzilla's just a dumbass lizard that just walks around and fucking breathes fire. He's just an idiot. That's it. He's just a strong idiot, but he's an idiot nonetheless. Like Kong, he'll be like, all right, I'm going to look around and let me grab this thing so I can block his fire, and then I'm going to take this pole and shove it up his ass. He can do that. He understands combat. Like, watch, you're gonna see the movie. I guarantee they're gonna watch. It's gonna look like King Kong does Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu on that motherfucker. He does it all the time, bro. I mean, King Kong's a beast. The dude can fight.
Kong is a little bit smarter, but that's it. He ain't like you giving him credit
you think,
for. Come
watch. Yo, this dude look like he's an MMA fighter, bro. This dude is a monster when it comes to fighting. Watch. He's gonna whoop his ass.
You think he's gonna sit down with the humans and strategize how to beat Godzilla?
No, he's not gonna strategize human. He's gonna be like, he's gonna be like, I see what this little lizard ass motherfucker doing. I got you. He's like, I'm gonna make boots out your ass.
I think that, it's like if a human were to go up against an animal, they would need time to research and figure out the best way to approach the situation. While, if Godzilla doesn't have any intelligence, as you say, he's the king of monsters, dude. Like, come on.
Yeah, he's just because
Godzilla got mad intelligent.
Man, Kong is gonna. And you seen that punch? Oh my god! And Godzilla's hands is like 2 inches. He has no hands. he got no hands. What is he gonna do?
Don't be hating on Godzilla. Godzilla got his tail. He should be able to just drown Kong. Just take him underwater for
no, but that's the thing.
A few hours. That's the
thing. That's the thing. Godzilla, Kong is too smart for that. Godzilla. Yeah, they really, when you look at these movies, there's really nothing to fight about. It's just a bunch of monsters wreaking havoc because they don't know no better. It's not like they're trying to take over the world. They just fight each other. Okay. Now, if I'm going to show my age. Well, Optimus, you're older than me. You remember the old Godzilla movies?
Of course.
Okay. So you remember Jet Jaguar? I don't think a lot of people know about him.
No.
You don't know about Jet Jaguar?
I do not remember. All
right.
No, I do not.
And I think that's potentially where this franchise might go ahead, right? So Jet Jaguar is pretty much a human suit. It's pretty much the first Power Ranger. Let's put it that way, right? It's a human suit.
Oh, you mean like Ultraman?
Yeah, like Ultraman. But in that universe is Jet Jaguar. And he pretty much just grew into their size, and he started like fucking them up. So
that's exactly like Ultraman.
He
had his beta capsule, then he grew big, and he would fight monsters in Japan.
So I'm gonna call it now. The ending credit scene of King Kong vs. Godzilla is probably gonna allude to Jet Jaguar. I could just see it happening. I could just see shit going wrong, going left. And King Kong got in a Godzilla. Maybe Godzilla wins, right? Let's say, because for whatever reason, Godzilla's going nuts and attacking everybody. That's why they need King Kong, right? So, whatever. Let's say King Kong does lose, right? And Godzilla is just wrecking havoc, king of the monsters, and he's just wrecking havoc on the world, right? I guarantee I ain't gonna say I guarantee, but I would imagine the ending credit scene will be like, some fucking, soldier or whatever. He goes, hey, I got a project for you. And what project? And then they just look at something, and then, like, whatever. And that's how it ends. I guarantee it's Jet Jaguar. I would not be surprised if they pulled that.
So again, people have been saying that it's gonna be that Kong and Godzilla gonna end up teaming up and fighting like the real threat, but they
don't know what the real threat is.
Apparently, I haven't seen this. I asked for a source.
I hate
the director or somebody has said it will be a clear winner between Kong and Godzilla, but I'm still waiting on a source for that. But that's what I've heard.
Hey, but that could, even if there's a clear winner, say for instance, King Kong knocks Godzilla down, he's about to deal the finishing blow, and then the real enemy comes through, like, hey, yo, what's good? It's me, Mecha,
right.
Mecha Godzilla. Hey, yo, we gotta make sure this movie keeps going. It can't stop at a trilogy. We need 3-4 more episodes of this shit, so I'm here.
Yeah.
Don't kill Godzilla. Don't kill him, because then we're fucked. We can't make another movie when he's dead. So kill me instead. Like, what? It's true.
Yeah, so but I would have to see like the reasoning behind what Godzilla is doing. I will admit I quite enjoyed Skull Island. I like Skull Island quite a bit.
Yeah.
He's a beast.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a great movie.
Yeah,
I liked it more than Godzilla King of Monsters, and I did like that one. I thought it was a very beautiful showcase of the CGI, and yeah.
What's interesting, so from the preview, like you know what is it? The girl from Stranger Things. Man, she really she looks a lot older now. I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Like this girl's been drinking the milk. But so she mentioned something like, you know, they're trying to figure out why Godzilla is attacking people. And I'm like, he's a fucking overgrown lizard. What the fuck else? He's a fucking monster.
King Kong kidnapping white women, as Guapzilla saying in the chat. Like, come on, what's going on here? What's going on
He's
here?
like Kong out here kidnapping white. You know what I'm saying? This dude, man. Yo, King Kong, they just leave the man alone. He has his own island. Like, don't fuck with him. Like, he ain't going nowhere. He's like, man, just leave me alone. Like, you guys always find a way to fuck with me. But it's gonna be interesting. So let me ask you this. I want to ask you guys something. And we're totally off topic, right? Because, you know, slow gaming news. What did you guys thought of Wonder Woman 1984?
It was trash.
Trash.
I'm glad I'm not the only one.
Trash.
Because that movie was abysmal.
It was really bad, dude.
I'm like, this is not even good for Netflix. This is like, straight to free TV. Like, holy cow, how did this movie end up so bad?
Yeah,
man, that's the type of stuff they used to put
it ended up so bad. Okay, let me tell you what happened. Fucking Patty Jenkins was all like, no. I can write this by myself. Okay, I don't need anyone else. She got rid of one of the dudes who was writing the first one. Yeah. You know, Zack Snyder's been doing his own thing. She did the screenplay for herself, and she had Jeff Johns also wrote it with her, right? Yeah. And people have a lot of issues with Jeff Johns. So, you know, I'm over here I'm chilling. I'm watching the movie with my family. I'm like, this shit is trash. First of all, the action was non-existent. Second of all, I didn't even think about this until after I saw the movie and someone mentioned it to me. But the fact of the matter is she slept with Steve Trevor in someone else's body.
Yeah, that's
that's just wrong, you know, morally.
It doesn't make sense. Yeah, it's like that's not who she is. Like, oh my god, this thing is so terrible. I'm like, oh, this movie is so.
And then
oh my god, there's no hope for DC. Like, can we admit that DC's dead? Like, for movies, like just stick to the TV shows. Like, just cancel all movie production. Like, just stop.
Well, the TV shows aren't that good either.
But the CW, right? I like Titans. Like, whoever did Titans, that's the direction they need to go. Whoever did Titans. That's the direction. That's the guy. Put him in charge of everything. You haven't seen Titans? It's on HBO Max.
Yeah, I know. I haven't seen it yet.
Watch Titans.
I've heard mixed things about it.
Watch Titans. That's the direction they need to go. It's dark. It's violent. A lot of great, you know, characters that got introduced. A lot of fan service. Great fighting. Like, no bullshit. Like, that's the way to go. You know what I'm saying? That's the direction to go. Like, CW, I even lost the taste for CW. Like, I don't know what happened to CW. In the beginning, I was all about CW.
Yeah.
And then it went to shit.
Arrow's gone. You know, it's done. Flash has been in the toilet for seasons. For some odd reason, instead of just recasting for Batwoman as like the actual character, they're like, no, we have to be, you know, super hip with the
oh man,
with the social justice of it all. So
I gotta admit that one is a SJW. Like, normally I don't get into that, but that Batgirl, I was like, oh man, this is bad. Like, these guys don't know what they're doing.
Really, really terrible decision on their part. They do not know what they're doing. What else is there? Supergirl went to shit. You know, what else? Pretty much like Legends is Legends, so whatever, right? That Superman and Lois show looks fucking awful in my opinion. I don't like the CW Superman anyway, so, you know, I'm kind of like, all right. So, you know, when it comes to the movies and the TV shows, I'm just kind of like, okay. Yeah.
So,
all right.
I'm on to see. So supposedly, the WB made a decision, to eventually cancel out all the side shows and focus on HBO Max, but they want the shows to be big production. Like, there's still TV shows, you know, there's still, you know, episodes, whatever, seasons, but on the level production of movies. So I think they're gonna start out with the Green Lantern as their first one, and then also Batman Year One, which is the prequel to
No, I've read the comic.
Yeah,
I read the comic.
Well, it's not based off the. Well, it's kind of not based off the comic, but it's based.
It's not based off the comic.
No, it's not based off the comic. What it is the first year before the movie that comes out with this dude. What's his name from the vampire motherfucker? I forgot his name. You know what I'm talking about. Fuck.
The vampire.
Twilight.
Oh.
Yeah, he's playing Batman.
Okay, yeah.
What's his name?
Yeah. Robert Pattinson.
Robert Pattinson, yeah. So the season of Batman, year 1 is 1 year before that. So they're doing 1 year. 1 year before.
He looks young enough to do Batman though.
I think he might pull it off. He's a good actor. Outside of Twilight.
Yes,
like when you see his later movies, he plays some great roles. I'm like, wait a minute. Okay, he's a good dude.
Yeah, he's a really good actor. People only think of him from
Twilight because it's too popular.
That was like 12 years ago, though. I was still in high school when that came out.
Yeah,
so.
That's like Leonardo DiCaprio in Titanic. That's the first thing people think about. But when you look at his other movies, he's a phenomenal actor. The dude is brilliant.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite actors.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that I think it's really unfortunate that DC doesn't seem like they know what they're doing for the most part, because DC, in my opinion, has more interesting characters and storylines that they could follow, but they just don't. They just don't. I don't know what they're doing.
I can't.
So yeah.
And they're focusing on the wrong content. I mean, and it's even bleeding over to the games. Like, hey, let's make a Suicide versus these guys game, so you could play as fucking fucking Captain Boomerang, like because that's always what I wanted. I always wanted to play a video game as Captain Boomerang. That's exactly what I wanted for $70. For $70, I get to play as Captain Boomerang, Harley Quinn, of course. Not Green Lantern. No, nobody wants that. Nobody wants the Flash game. Nobody wants him either. Nobody wants Superman, Wonder Woman, or Aquaman. Nah, we want Captain Boomerang and Harley Quinn and King Shark. That's who we want for $70.
No,
that's who we want.
You're right. I just I don't know. I think that like I said before, the DC has a lot of really interesting, compelling characters, and they just, I don't know, they hand them off to people who don't care about comics. So I don't get it, man.
Mark, you told me that that Titan show was on Netflix, but I haven't been able to find it.
No. So back in the days, before it was on Netflix, but you needed to watch like the overseas Netflix. Like, so you needed a VPN.
Oh, like a VPN or
something. But now it's on HBO Max.
Oh, okay, good. I got that.
Yeah, so now it's on HBO Max. They're moving everything over to HBO Max, which is finally the smart decision, because that was another thing they screwed up. Some DC shows was on Netflix. Others, you need a DC Universe app. I couldn't find Batman anywhere, so the only way to watch, like, The Dark Knight was freaking paying for it. I'm like, man, you guys are all fucked up. Like, fix this shit and combine it. And I think they're starting doing that now. With HBO Max, they're putting everything. I think as the contracts expire, they're absorbing everything and they're putting everything on HBO Max. Thank God. Because it was a mess trying to find... It was a mess trying to find.
I think the best thing they could do is really just have really focused stories, right? Yes. Like a beginning, a middle, and an end. Just really focused stories. I think, the CW Arrowverse is, it's still popular. It was very popular. But I think their biggest mistake that they made was giving each show 22 episodes. Yeah,
it was a lot of episodes.
It was a lot of episodes. They had to fill a lot of space. Like, don't get me wrong, season 1 and 2 of Arrow were extremely good, in my opinion. Yeah. Very, very good storytelling. And then it just, season 3 was fine too, but season 4 of Arrow. Woo,
it got rough.
That was bad.
Yeah, it got rough. I was just watching it just to push through, and I'm like, man.
Yeah, I stopped after episode 11. I was like, I can't do this, dude. And I turned it off. Yeah. So
what kept me going was how they intertwined Flash. And then you got the whole, okay, they're going to start doing crossovers, so that's why. But there was some shows I didn't watch, I didn't give a damn, but like DC Legends, I have not watched a full season of that. Like, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
And like, these characters, nah. Like, this is just this is just a group of people thrown together. Going, nah.
Yeah.
I didn't do it.
I'm with you. I think they need to pull do the Netflix approach, maybe give them 6, 7, 8 episodes, really focus storyline, really focused plot, don't skimp out on like the what is it called for when the action. You know, don't skimp out on the action. Make sure you have good choreography and act like just they could make something really really good and they just don't.
Hire the people that do the Mandalorian, because god damn that fucking show is good.
Yeah.
Mandalorian, they do a great job with that show. And you said it's only like 10 episodes.
Is that second season done yet? Because I was waiting for them to finish it all.
Yeah, it's done.
Yeah, it was done a long time ago. I'm surprised you haven't heard the spoilers.
Nah, don't tell me now either.
Oh, yeah, you better stay away from Twitter. Because if people found out you don't know what happened, they're going to spoil it for you.
I'm about to...
I'm surprised. I'm honestly shocked. You don't know what happened.
Dude, I don't even watch The Mandalorian and I know what happens. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying, because it was all over the internet.
No, I done a good job of avoiding it, but I'm going to jump on that probably tomorrow. Yeah,
it's really good. Season 2 is really good. And the ending is incredible.
That's what's up.
Incredible.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. They need to, they need to get their shit together. In my opinion, they should just end the CW shows. I think the CW shows are ending anyway. There's just no fucking way. There's just no way Batwoman's getting another season. No. Like, they just can't do it, man.
And what did they do with Black Lightning? Is he still
that's ending. It's about to end.
It's ending. But I read somewhere Time Warner is ending all those outer shows, and they're going to focus on HBO Max. And they're going to start with Batman Year One and Green Lantern. Those are the first two they're going to start with.
I
wish them luck.
Good choices. I think those are good choices. You know, it's been long enough for Green Lantern where it's like, you know, I think people are ready to see another iteration of Green Lantern on screen,
like,
you know?
A good one.
And a good one. Like, I can only listen.
That movie was trash.
Yeah, it was. I much prefer DC over Marvel. So I really hope they can. I hope they can get it together when it comes to these stories, because like DC as in like the comics, not the media. Yeah, not the other media forms of media.
Yeah, because the movies, Marvel got that on lock.
Yes,
they are just what's his name? I forgot his name, but the Kevin Feige, he has that shit planned out wonderfully. Yes, he's a genius at this shit. He's really got that planned out. El Matador,
he did a very very good job.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie.
I Joker is a great film.
Oh, yes.
I haven't watched that yet either.
Oh, man. That's also on HBO Max. That's amazing.
It's a very, very good film, but it's also not really a comic book movie.
No. Yeah, it's like a series. It's like they're trying to find the logical way of how this would work out. Like if this, like the real life way of, which is pretty good spin on that. El Matador, thank you for super chat. He says, so The Last of Us 2 has surpassed The Witcher 3 for most awards. Of course it has. Of course. I'm telling you, it's Naughty Dog. You can't fuck with Naughty Dog. Naughty Dog will find a way.
Did you play Last of Us 2, Luca, or that's not your style?
Oh yeah, I have no interest in The Last of Us.
You didn't play any of them?
No. Well, I mean, I did play it, the first one, for a little bit, but I'm not interested.
Oh, what made you lose your interest in it? Was it the gameplay or the story's just not clicking?
Well, I was never interested, but I had already known the story when I started to play it.
Oh man, that sucks.
Yeah, it's kind of like.
So then at that point, you have to rely on the gameplay, and if the gameplay is not your thing, you're not sticking with it.
Yeah. So
that's.
I just wasn't interested.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah.
I can see if you get spoiled, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what sucks. I hate that when you know the story of games or people tell you the story of games, because part of it is experience it. It's just not the same when you already know. You just don't get the same impact. And then it's just
it's true.
It's just like there's nothing special about this.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't have any interest in it, but I could see it. Last of Us 2 especially is very, very impressive graphically and everything. So you know, and so I can definitely see why it would have all those awards.
How about Uncharted? Did you enjoy Uncharted games?
I don't have any interest in Uncharted either.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
What makes you like not have interest in them? Is it just the gameplay?
I'm just not. I'm not interested in Nathan Drake's story, I guess.
Oh, makes sense. The treasure hunting shit.
Yeah.
Are you looking forward to Indiana Jones?
No.
You miss.
Dang, Luca. What is wrong? I mean, since you came on, you was like, games ain't worth $70. VRS, no ray tracing, Destiny messed up. I done lost faith in CDPR. Everybody letting me down. I ain't interested in Jake. Don't care about Indiana Jones. What is going on?
I mean, like, it's hard for me to be excited about the future of gaming when everything I was excited for has ended up in the mud.
She's a pessimist.
The next game I would be looking forward to is Dragon Age 4, and who knows if that's even going to be good.
Man,
all the top brass for
really
Dragon Age is left.
You're taking a risk with that one.
Yeah, I've been playing games. I like I said, I beat Sekiro. About to beat it the 4th time. I've been playing Cyberpunk, but I took a break from it. I turned it off till that next gen patch later on in the year.
Did you play Cyberpunk?
Yeah, I got 50 hours in it.
Oh, how you like it?
It's fine. It's good. I do.
I'm not talking about the bugs.
I'm
not talking about the bugs. Yeah, because I think that topic's been
like it.
Beaten to death. I'm talking about like the game, the story, the gameplay.
I feel like it's missing a lot of stuff in regards to, what I expected, I guess you could say, especially with the side stories as well in Cyberpunk 2077. They're not as compelling to me. Also, it's missing a lot of basic features too, like not being able to customize your cars or your apartments. I think of how in like Saints, I'm like, damn, Saints Row 2, I could do certain things, GTA, San Andreas, I could do certain things, so it's unfortunate. But given the fact that CDPR has like not done a game like this before, what they were able to accomplish is very impressive from that standpoint, But they did. Maybe the next Cyberpunk game they do, they improve upon the foundation that they created. Yeah. Based off a foundation, it's very good. Based off that, but you can definitely feel the gaping wounds from the people who were working on The Witcher 3 and who left. So it's depressing overall. This is just the gaming space is extremely depressing when it comes to a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So, I have a hard time feeling optimistic or hopeful for any sort of game. I'm not even like hyped for Elden Ring. I'm just kind of like, we'll see how this is.
So you are taking everything with a step back and a wait and see approach. Because that's how disappointed you've been so far. That now you're like, whoever shows anything, I'm just gonna wait and see.
Yeah,
it sounds like you need a new God of War. That's what it sounds like.
I need I don't know, dude. Like you have to understand. It's me. I was I really like the Fallout series. I like Fallout 4 a lot. I have like a lot of hours in Fallout 4, right? So then when they did Fallout 76, I was like, okay, maybe this will be good. And then they were coming out with BioWare was coming out with another Mass Effect. And I was like, oh, holy shit, Mass Effect, I can't wait. Da-da-da. And then Andromeda came out, and then Anthem.
So that's what I was about to ask you, Luke. I was about to ask you 2 questions. 1, if they announced a Bloodborne 2, how would you feel? And 2, that Mass Effect remaster is supposed to be coming, and I know you got to be hyped for that.
Yeah, like I was hype, but then that rumor came out that it was coming out in March, and I'm like, we haven't seen anything. What do you mean?
They sneak selling it. they're gonna sneak sell it. They're gonna have the game in stores before the review copies are out.
Like,
oh man,
they're gonna pull that stunt.
And then also it's like it's not a full remake, so it's just a remaster, and I'm like, the gameplay for Mass Effect 1 is trash. No. So. What do you mean? Like they have to retool that fucking gameplay, dude.
The game was like 720p. Now you can play it in 4K, but with the same game. Oh hell no!
It was the gameplay for sure for Mass Effect 1 that was a problem for me, like a huge issue for me. So no, I'm not like. I mean, I was excited, but then I read through it all and I was like, oh, okay.
No. we can't be
And then, no, dude,
I need a full-blown remake from the ground up. Like, built from the ground up, man.
Yeah, I'm with you.
The latest
that's
engine.
not gonna be ready in March.
Like a new engine, you know, the latest stuff, man. I don't understand.
100%, dude. I was, you have to understand, I was just such a huge fan of these games, you know? And I say that me and Slomo talk about Dragon Age and Mass Effect literally every single month. We'll be on the phone, it'll come up. We'll be on a show, it'll come up. We'll talk about it, right? Yeah. And I just say to him now, I'm like, damn, at least I got 3 really good games. You know, like it's depressing. You know, it's a lot of the developers. I was just really looking forward to games from them. I'm just kind of like, okay. And now, you know, anything new that's announced, I have to take it with a grain of salt because I'm like, well, are they lying to me? Like everyone else has lied to me?
Okay, so what about Bloodborne 2? Because I know they haven't let you down.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to see. I mean, Miyazaki-san said he doesn't want to do another Bloodborne. And Miyazaki-san wasn't really involved in Dark Souls 2, you know?
Yeah.
And, you know, story-wise, Dark Souls 3 was kind of odd, you know, when it came to certain aspects of it. It wasn't as, even though people are like, I don't know what the story for Dark Souls is. The first story for Dark Souls 1 is very easy to understand for me. And then but Bloodborne, in my opinion, has the best story. It's amazing. It's absolutely phenomenal. But part of the appeal of Bloodborne was not knowing that it was going to switch from gothic horror to a cosmic horror. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like having that HP Lovecraft, like when all that weird shit started to happen, you're just kind of like, what is going on?
Yeah,
and then
man.
like
It's
finding out this, like just so amazing, absolutely fucking incredible. And then that old Hunters DLC is like, it's the best DLC content that they've made, in my opinion. In regards to the story is extremely dark and interesting. The weapons that they introduced, the bosses are all compelling. You know, just an amazing experience. And it's like, if they were like, we're going to do a Bloodborne 2, I'd be like, okay, Bloodborne was a very condensed story, you know, with some options, some weird endings, you know, like it had a weird ending. It had 2 really weird endings for me. Like, you know, you becoming a baby great one, or being stuck in the dream, you know. Yeah. And so it's like, you know,
you create a masterpiece and they'd be like, oh, we got to make a sequel. And now you screwed it all up. And you're like, oh, boy. Like, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I like that Miyazaki-san seems to be focused now on creating, like, singular experiences, right? Yeah. Like Sekiro, even though I'm not all that interested in the story is, like, basic in my opinion. Yeah. It's got some really, really, really fun gameplay. I think it's the best gameplay in the series, in my opinion. And, you know, it's something where I feel like I can just run through it over and over and over and over again. You know, they introduce a lot of really cool features that like being able to face old bosses again and again. I think that's awesome. They introduced a way so you can get like new combat art and new skins. It's very cool stuff, you know. But at this point, I think Miyazaki-san would be better just focusing on stuff he actually really wants to work on, and there's no like pressure there to create a sequel to something just because people genuinely love Bloodborne, and I genuinely love Bloodborne. So
he's having an Elden Ring, right?
Yeah, they're working on Elden Ring.
Yeah.
So what if he wanted to do a Bloodborne 2 and he was really passionate about it? Would that break through your little rainy cloud barrier, or would you still be like, nah, I'm not gonna trust it?
Well, yeah, I mean, I would be excited, but I'd also just be like, you know, at any moment they could just let me down, any of these studios. So I would go into it with a grain of salt and be like, all right, let's see what they're hitting for.
Okay, so you just not gonna let that go. You gonna need a couple of developers to deliver all in a row before you start trusting them again.
Yeah, man. I mean, I feel like over the last couple of years, I've taken a lot of hits to my own to games that I was just really looking forward to, and now I'm just kind of like, what is life? You know, what's the point?
Oh my!
But you know, that's okay because I have a back. We all have a backlog.
That's it. We have the backlog, right? It's all about the old games. But you know what I think? I think it's this, right? I think the industry put themselves. All right, so let me set the stage so this makes sense. So towards the beginning of last gen, right? We can now call it officially last gen. During Xbox One, PS4 era, there was a huge movement of the industry saying it's all about the multiplayer. It's all about games as a service. This is why, Phil Spencer said it, EA said it, Ubisoft. A lot of people were saying that, right? That based on the numbers, based on, the revenue, games as a service and multiplayer is having a huge, tremendous impact. And you saw it. You saw it with Destiny. You saw it with Warframe, right? GTA 5 online was blowing up bigger. I think they made more money with just their online than they ever did with all the other games combined, right? So all this data was just compiling, showing that, hey, man, this is what the gamers want. They want these games. They want to come back to these games. They want to constantly invest in these games, right? Sony and Nintendo went the opposite direction, right? And they didn't go out there and try to fight it. They didn't go out there on Twitter, say, oh, we disagree. No, they just did their thing. They just do what they normally do. Get the developers, trust the developers on what they want. What do you want to make? You want to make a God of War? Cool. Oh, you want to make Heavenly? Who made Killzone, the shittiest games? Oh, you want to do RPGs? Fine, do RPGs. They let them do what they wanted to do, right? And then a lot of these games just became very popular. A lot of these games just took notice, and people were like, oh, this is amazing. This is what we want. And then industry's like, they were running full steam ahead, and then they hit the brakes like, oh, wait, we could do single player too. But they never really put any thought into it. They just jumped on the train because they saw somebody else succeed on it, vice trying to nurture it in of themselves. And I think that's where the third-party industry is stuck at. They saw that single player is still relevant. You just got to put some thought. But over the last couple of years, they really haven't been doing a good job of it. You know what I'm saying? Because they really didn't mean it. They're just catching up to what Nintendo and Sony's doing. They never thought for themselves, hey, let's make our company where we find a nice balance. We'll still create those games as a service. We'll still create those multiplayer games. But we still need to deliver great, compelling single-player content. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of gamers want that. You still have gamers that want those stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I've been
and I think that's what happened.
Considering switching to JRPGs and focusing on some of the older titles. I was talking to Slomo about the Trails of Cold Steel series because he's been playing that. And so I'm thinking about getting into that because over the last couple of years, let me tell you, Persona 5, absolutely phenomenal.
Oh, yeah.
And in fact,
it's great.
Just absolutely. It's so good, Yes. And then Fire Emblem Three Houses was it's still so very good. And it's just kind of like, this is the content I'm looking for, man.
Yeah, man.
I just want to play. I don't want games to be bad. I want all these developers to do well, and I want them to be successful if they're actually passionate about what they're working on. But as it stands right now, when it comes to the AAA space, I'm just kind of really just kind of side eyeing everybody. Okay, we'll see what we'll see what y'all are doing.
You're not jumping all in. I don't blame you. I think right now the industry is going through their growing pains because they were all adamant about multiplayer games as a service. It was all about that. I mean, I don't think you could go a day on Twitter or YouTube. I think during 2016, 15, 17, that period where you didn't hear the word gas any given day or on a podcast. It was always that conversation. Gas, games as a service. Gas, games as a service. Games as a service. Makes more money. These games don't make no money more. Single player, I'm like, oh my God. Jesus Christ. And I wasn't even against gas. I was just saying you can do both. I remember gaming was all about all the variety. Play your puzzle games. Play your third-person shooter. Play your over-the-top action. Things like that, right? Whatever style. You don't have to limit and funnel, gaming into just one particular genre and style, and then everybody's forced to play because there's no option. You could still create it. Jesus, I didn't understand the whole argument of, screw single player. If you don't like single player games, just don't buy it, right? But for the people that do like it, let them buy it. It's not interfering with the, you're always gonna have Call of Duty, right? A new single player game is not gonna stop Call of Duty from being sold. They're always gonna make Call of Duty. You're always gonna have those games. You're always gonna have your sports games, and you're gonna have new multiplayer. Those games will always be made, right? But don't inhibit or discourage the creation of new single players, because a lot of times, right? a lot of the new, you could say maybe new gameplay mechanics or something new or creative is usually within the single player realm, because those games aren't tied to certain rules. Like a multiplayer game, you're tied to certain rules, right? You gotta have a group. It could be a team of 4 or a team of 6, but it's gotta be a group, right? And then you're gonna have some type of weapon of some form, right? And if it's a shooter, a gun's a gun. Yeah, you can shape it different, but generally gun rules are gun rules, right? And these type of games, all right, what you're gonna do? All right, you're gonna have a death match of some sort. You're gonna have some type of control or capture the flag type game. Like, you're limited to what you really can do in a multiplayer game, right? You know, there's not too much to it. You know, you could change it a little bit, but you're limited. But a single player game, you could create something totally unique and different, because a single player game really, you know, you create the rules for it, right? It's just whether it's gonna be popular or not. But you can create something unique and different behind it, right?
I mean, we'll see.
Like God of War, right? God of War went through a complete revamp from the old style to the new style, which was 2018. Completely new revamp, right? You really can't do that with Halo, Gears of War, or Call of Duty. You can't do a revamp to that degree. You just can't, right? Like, you can't decide one day, hey, we're going to make Halo a third-person shooter from now on. That's not going to work. It's just not going to work. People will not accept that. They're going to be like, you're out your goddamn mind. Like, it's just not going to happen. You can't make Gears of War a first-person shooter and Halo a third-person shooter. It's just, they're just limited. They're just stuck on that, right? You know, with the multiplayer and all that. But a game like a single-player game, you could completely change it, right? You know, you could. Like, you could take Days Gone and make it into a first-person game. And also, you know, and it's a first-person, you know, survival, whatever. And, you know, you're riding the bike, you know. Like, hell, they did it with Grand Theft Auto. They made first-person mode, right? So you could do that with single-player games. You know, multiplayer games and stuff, not so much, right? So...
Yeah, you're right. I'm just, at this point, I'm just kind of going through my backlog and playing some of the games I missed because I was cucking for Destiny all those years.
Oh, you have a lot of games to catch up to.
Yeah, so, you know, I have that to look forward to. But as it stands right now, when it comes to the future of the gaming industry, I don't have very high hopes. So
she's so, and you're thinking, and I spent $1,000 on these 2 boxes. Motherfucker. Yep. You're just looking at them like,
actually,
she's looking at both boxes. I hate you both. I hate you so much.
I don't regret spending my money or anything like that. I never regret spending money once I do it, because I always put a lot of thought into my purchases. You know, and there's older games that I can play on my PlayStation 5 and my Xbox Series X, thanks to back compat, baby. You know what I mean? So I'm looking forward to going through all of those. All the Legend of Hero games are on PlayStation 5, so I'm gonna play through those, and if I like them, that is.
Have you played any of the Yakuza games?
I have not. No.
You should try one. I mean, it's even on Game Pass. You got Game Pass. Try one and see how you like it. Mm-hmm. It's very quirky, but it's just try it. Yeah, I mean, hell, it's on Game Pass. It's really. I'm hooked on it. Like, it's really good, right? But you should try it. You probably like it. It's just really good. It's a good franchise. I think that's why there's a lot of Yakuza fans. They talk about it. But the thing is, because of the game, it's not like gonna attract a lot of casuals. You know what I'm saying? Simply because of the premise. Like, a lot of people don't really care about Japanese mafia and like how the game plays. But when you play it, it's really good gameplay.
And I want to go on the record saying I don't share Luca's pessimism. I am very optimistic about the future of gaming, just an FYI. Really looking forward to Returnal, and I'm just excited about all the other stuff in the pipeline.
I'll be honest, I'm excited, and you call me a fanboy. I'm excited at the future with Sony. I'm looking forward to what Capcom has cooked up. I'm also excited at Square Enix at what they got cooked up and stuff. I really like the showings of the video games they did and stuff. So I'm pessimistic, and I'll be honest, I'm really looking forward to seeing what Ninja Theory, what they're doing. Yes, it's Xbox, yes, it's Microsoft, but I really like Ninja Theory. So unlike other guys who hype Ninja Theory but don't really play or beat their games, I actually played and beat their games. And I'm actually looking forward to seeing a Ninja Theory with no constraints or worries, because they've been like that for a couple of years now. Where because Ninja Theory, you know, they're just one bad game from being dissolved, right? So when Microsoft bought them, I was actually happy because I'm like, now they don't have to worry about making a mistake. Like they could make a bad game, which they did, Bleeding Edge, but it's not crippling. It's not going to end them, right? If they were on their own, Bleeding Edge would have been like the end of them, right? So I'm really looking forward to this investment that Microsoft's putting in to Ninja Theory. I'm really looking forward to seeing their game.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what's up. But you're not looking forward to Halo Infinite, Rock?
No. It's 343, man. Like, come on, it's 343. That's it. It's over. It's like putting The Last of Us in the hands of EA. It's like it's over.
Wow.
It's over. There's nothing you can do. That's it. It's over. Like, there's nothing you can do. Like 343, I tell you, 343 ain't it. And Coalition, they're okay. But so the games, like, just because the game still has the name, it's the people that made it, right? Like, it's the people that made it, so, right? Yeah. So when you got a new developer, new studio, the name can only carry it so far. They have to do their part. And I don't think 343 are that developer to bring Halo back to the limelight that people expect it to be, right? You know, it's like taking God of War. And I'll say this. Imagine if, hell, I don't even have to manage it. But let's say if the next God of War was going to be made by Sucker Punch. Even Sucker Punch. Or Sony Ben. It's not going to be the same God of War. It's not going to be up to the level that it was with its appropriate studio that got it to there. It's just not. It's just not going to be that way. You know.
So you have no confidence to 343.
I think at best it might be just a really good game, which is okay, right? It's okay, but if people are expecting Halo 3 level of success, like it's the bomb, the media, people are waiting in Times Square. You know that those back in the days where Halo was the household name. I don't think 343 is gonna be able to get Halo to that level. I think they'll just be able to make a really good game, and that's it. And I don't mean that's it. I mean that's at that point that's really a good deal. But I don't believe in the hype of the next Halo being the phenom. I don't believe in that hype. So I'm more Luca with that. Like, yeah, I don't believe you. Not with 343. I have not seen that studio. That studio has not impressed me ever since they took over Halo. With Halo 4.
Multiplayer is a lot of fun.
They have not impressed me.
What'd you say, Luca?
I said the multiplayer for 5 is fun. I did a lot of like custom matches with the boys. So that was fun.
Yeah, but you also drunk, all right? Because I heard about that, right? I heard about you getting drunk. Nah, I'm just kidding. You're like, huh? Who told you that?
Who told you that?
You know what I'm saying? All right. So, damn, we've been shooting the shit for a little bit. I think it's late for you guys, right? You guys are East Coast time?
Yeah, it's about 10 o'clock for me.
Oh, shit.
That's 10 o'clock for me.
And Lucas Chirac time. So, hey.
Yes.
So, thank you, my sister from another mister, for showing up. Please give yourself a shout out.
Yeah,
let people know they can find you.
Got to get you back on Scumcast soon, buddy.
Yeah, this Saturday, and you're going to answer the damn question.
Okay.
You're going to answer that question.
Okay. All right. Yeah, thanks for having me. You guys can catch me on Scumcast, which is my podcast. It's every Saturday at 3 p.m. Central, which is 4 p.m. Eastern, which is 1 p.m. Pacific time.
Yes,
I'm there with the boys. Yes. You guys can also catch me on Twitter at the Ash and Luca. If you have any comments, concerns, or questions regarding anything I might have said tonight, or you're like, I'm gonna question you because I don't agree with this take here, don't at me because I don't care.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. I was just gonna say that. Don't even bother because she ain't answering. I knew it. If you would have said we could talk about it there, I'm like, you a liar, Luca. You know damn well you ain't talking to nobody on Twitter. I was waiting. I was gonna call you out. I was like, let this girl say we could talk about it on Twitter. I'm like, she lying. She's gonna mute you and she's gonna let you talk by yourself. That's what she's gonna do.
Yeah, but you can follow me on Twitter at the Ashy Luca. Come talk to me about anime. I would rather talk about anime than anything else, to be honest.
There's this huge anime movement. Like, oh my god, like everybody on my timeline is now talking about anime. I'm like, man,
because anime's in a really good place right now, especially Attack on Titan.
I'm like, is gaming that bad that we gotta talk anime? Like, what the hell is going on here? Like,
anime's in a good place right now.
Okay,
so
all right, my man Optimus.
Yeah.
What up?
What's going on?
Not much, man. Y'all can catch me every Sunday on AGS with Hard 8. I'm all over Twitter. If you really want to find me, you can.
Oh boy. That's my man Optimist. Thank you so much for showing up. And Craig was here for a little bit. I honestly wish I could tell you when he does his podcast, but I don't know. He just doesn't stay consistent. It's like at 8 in the morning on one day, 2 a.m. on another. He does one at 11, like 38. It's just weird. So it's just catch him when you catch him, you know. And of course, J-Dub is just out there fighting the good fight, you know, trying to make Xbox great again.
Just want to remind everyone that I got the platinum for Demon Souls. So anyone saying I don't play games, eat a dick and die. Okay, let's go ahead.
There you go.
Whoa.
And notice she brought up a PlayStation game to prove she plays games.
Yes.
Not Xbox.
Yes. Go check my plats. Go ahead. Or my plats. I have one. Go check my platinum.
You know, check the stats. You know what I'm saying?
Go check my stats.
That's how we roll on PlayStation. You know?
Yes. My stuff's open.
Like,
so
that's it. There you go. You see? That's it.
Yeah.
She ain't hiding.
You can go check anything. My gamer tag and my PlayStation name are in my Twitter description. Because unlike some of my Xbox brethren, I don't pretend. Like
shots fired. Hey, in fact, she dares you play Demon Souls. She can invade your world. She might invade your world. So go ahead.
Man,
keep talking that shit.
It real tonight. Wow.
Shit, man. But anyway, hey, I hope everybody enjoyed this impromptu 60 frames no lag. See you guys next week. Hopefully gaming has more interesting topics, because I really hate forced podcasts. I really hate it. Just, you know what I'm saying? But hopefully things get going. More conversation gaming. But anyway, appreciate it. Your only friend, these YouTube streets, Porter Rock 77, and we are out of here.